Well, good morning, everybody, and happy day after Memorial Day 2023. I hope you all had a good one, a nice one, good weather, good barbecues, good fun, and thought about all those incredible veterans who serve so proudly in all our armed forces. Okay, don't forget that it's not only a day for a good day to buy a mattress. It's really important. We remember why we celebrate Memorial Day. I don't have to give you a lecture. My name is Larry Jacobs. This is Pre-K-12 Education Talk Radio. Thank you for listening on, what is it, May 30th? I guess it is 2023, so thanks for being here today. We've got a show for you today with my old friend. I'm so glad he's back with us here, Don Rescigno. Don is now the Managing Director of Teaching Channel. Okay, he previously led, you may know him from Insight Advance and all that. He spent about 25 years of his, 112 years of living supporting educators and their students. And he's got a lot to say about a lot of things, especially about the Teaching Channel. He's brought with him the Superintendent of the Metropolitan School District of Decatur Township in Indiana. We'll find out about the Indy 500, Dr. Matt Prusiecki. And he's been leading the district for 10 years. And I just want to always say something about that. When we first started doing this show in 2010, the average length of a superintendent's tenure was about 3 years. And the more and more I talk to superintendents all the time, like Matt, okay, he's been in the district 10 years. This is very important because it allows you to build slowly over the years, have a game plan, continue with great leadership, et cetera, et cetera. So it's going to be a good show with Don and Matt. Stay tuned for a second. I got a couple things to say to you. Everything we do here is archived over at ace-ed.org. We're the American Consortium for Equity in Education. ace-ed.org is our home website. We have a lot of stuff over there. Please go over, check it out if you're at all interested in equity, etc., and access to learning for all kids. Okay, in pre-K-12 public schools and private schools, charter schools and public schools, et cetera, et cetera. We're really concerned about it, especially these days. Everything we do over there at ace-ed.org is free for educators. All of our podcasts are available to you. Our magazine, Equity and Access, we're putting together a new one as we speak. It'll probably be out in a few days. All right, a new issue of Equity and Access and a ton of other information over there, including information about our awards program. These are our Excellence in Equity Awards, and this is especially directed to everybody out there, all right, but especially to the companies we work with. But listen to this if you're an educator, because it's free to educators. Nominations are now open for the 2023 Excellence in Equity Awards at ace-ed.org. You'll see the icon, or you can just do ace-ed.org/awards. There were 160-plus nominees and over 50 winners in 2022, and we're looking to highlight and celebrate even more contributors to equity and access this year. On our website, you'll find 29 categories dedicated to companies, organizations, products, and leaders, along with 15 categories for educators, paraprofessionals, and support staff of all roles. 20 of the categories are all new this year, so be sure to check them out. And we are very proud of what we do with our Equity Awards. It's a great honor to win them. The nomination process is open until August 4th, but now's the best time, especially if you're a company. It gives you the best pricing. Our early bird period goes until June 2nd. I feel like Janet Yellen these days with the debt limit, okay? June 2nd is just a few days away. Today's May 30th. So if you're a company and you want to sponsor an educator, sponsor a school, put your products in line to win for equity and access, please do it today over at ace-ed.org/awards. Okay? And again, it's free to educators. You can also go, if you have any questions, to awards at ace-ed.org, but it's all over there, so please check it all out. We're proud of this Equity Awards thing. We get a lot of participation. It's a lot of fun. I, by the way, have nothing to do with it. We have an independent group of judges. We really do, who handle all this. So please check it all out over at ace-ed.org. And without further ado, let me say hello to my old buddy, Don Rescigno. How you doing, Don? It's Larry here.
Hey, Larry. How are you? It's great to be with you again.
Yeah, it's good to have you here, my friend. Everything's good with you, I assume?
Everything's good. It's a beautiful day in Chicago. Should be in the 80s today, sunny, and family's great. So I couldn't ask for more.
And I've known you so long. Are you in the 80s as well these days? You're not that old.
Yeah. Not
Good
quite.
to hear your voice, Todd. And I know we're talking to one of the young ones here, Matt Prusiecki. How are you, Dr. Prusiecki? It's Larry Jacobs here. Call me Larry.
Larry, I'm doing well. Thank you. Indianapolis is bright and sunny as well, and just trying to recover from the race weekend.
Can you actually hear it from where you live? Can you hear
No, I'm not that close, but you got a good 10, 15-mile radius. You can hear all sorts of things.
Wow, it's cool. It's so cool, and but it's just a great event. It was yesterday. Okay, so I came back. I'm going to start with Matt. Matt, tell us about the school district, your district, okay, of Decatur Township in Indiana. Tell everybody, brag a bit. Okay, give us the demographics.
Yeah, MSD of Decatur Township. We're located on the southwest side of Indianapolis. If you flew into Indianapolis Airport, we're literally 5 minutes away, just south of it. We have just over 6,600 students. We have moderate to high degree of poverty, but we have a very strong knit community of families that really support their schools. Our school system, we have one high school, one middle school, 6 elementaries, and
wow, there
one
you go.
school. And we really have, again, we're the hub for the community in southwest Indianapolis. When you think of Decatur Township, you think of our school system.
That is just great. And I got to tell you, you just mentioned that there is some poverty in the district, some lower economics. Okay, there, and that's what you do in education is so important for the folks who are in that category. Okay, and it's education that's going to lift them out. I know what your standard is every day you guys work. Okay, that is so important that they have quality education. I think it's just great. We're going to be talking about quality professional development and video coaching. And on that note, my good buddy Don, old friend now, okay, is the managing director of the Teaching Channel, okay, and he previously led the video coaching company Insight Advanced. Don, just give us the update on Teaching Channel. Just tell us all about it so we can start right there.
Yeah, I mean, that Teaching Channel is just this name that educators have known for more than a decade. Everyone thinks of the incredible videos that, we've put together in the library over the years. Well, I'm excited to share that Teaching Channel now isn't just what you knew as Teaching Channel. It's so much more. We've come together with Learner's Edge and our old company, Insight Advanced, to create the new version of Teaching Channel. And really, Larry, what that does for educators is kind of create a single source where you can go for custom professional development programs, the video coaching that you've known from Insight Advanced, other classroom resources, graduate level courses, over 180 graduate level continuing education courses.
Wow. Wow.
So we're in this new world now, and this is the new Teaching Channel, and we're extremely proud of what we can do for educators.
And Don, how long have you been there now at Teaching Channel?
So Insight Advanced became part of Teaching Channel in very late December 2021. So we've just been bringing our companies together ever since. So, it's been over a year, and we're building something special, Larry.
Yeah, you really and truly are. And the three I'll call them products that you talked about: Learner's Edge, Insight Advanced, and Teaching Channel, now coming together. I'll say it like this way: that's the perfect storm. Okay, in this day and age, that's the perfect storm. I got to tell you, that is just great. And I have to ask you this: I didn't realize this. All those graduate courses, where are they coming from? Okay,
that we have our own curriculum,
or is that a secret?
And instruction team. No, we create them ourselves. We have our own curriculum and instruction team, and these are extremely high level, great quality courses for educators. And one other thing I'd love to add here is that, Teaching Channel has been known for years, Larry, as a library of videos. And as you've heard me describe, it's so much more than that. But we're still enhancing that library. So as you can imagine, during the pandemic, we didn't have the opportunity to do much with that library because we were not allowed in schools. But ever since mid to late 2022, our film crews have been back in school districts all around the country. And since that time, we've added, I think it's 105 new videos from classrooms around the country. We're continuing to film, and we plan to add another 100 videos throughout 2023. So we are growing this library so we can give as many examples of exemplary teaching to teachers as possible. But it's not just teachers teaching anymore. It's what does a post-observation coaching conversation look like? What does a conversation look like between leaders and teachers? Yeah, so we're trying to provide as many professional learning opportunities and resources as possible.
And Don, I'll get back to Matt in just a second. I want to find out how he's using all this, but I have to ask you, I always thought that Teaching Channel, I haven't worked with you guys for a while, was very available for use to help students, okay? And I know good teaching helps students. I understand that. Was there student information videos on there as well, or was it always just for educators?
It's really been focused on the educator, and again, it's something that an entire school district or school can use, or the individual teacher can get a subscription on their own as well.
Okay, great. And it's teachingchannel.com?
Teachingchannel.com. You can look at for schools and institutions. There's the whole section there, and then there's also a for teachers section. And I have to mention this. There's a section called the K-12. The K-12 Hub, where we have, I believe, over 2,000 different resources there, whether those are blog posts, different types of videos and webinars that we have, ebooks, white papers, just sort of a treasure trove of information for educators that talk about just the science of teaching, the strategies of teaching, what good teaching looks like, and all kinds of great resources. And
one of the things you just said that you send actual teams into schools to video teachers at work or educators at work or whatever. How do schools get involved with that? That's great.
They usually are customers of ours, but they can indicate, if they go to teachingchannel.com and they reach out to us there, if they are interested in having us film in their schools, they just need to reach out via our website, and we'd love to have that discussion with you and how we can create that partnership. Absolutely, school districts would love to see their own teachers in this bank of videos that are being shared around the country.
Well, I'm glad you're there, buddy. You brought all this together, and they got the right guy to do this. I'll tell you, you're a master at what you do, my friend. No, I mean it. You're an old good friend. And
Thank you.
I know you, and I remember you speaking at various conferences I've been to, etc. Okay, you're the man. Okay, you're one of the good guys out there, and I mean that. I mean that from most sincerely. Okay, so Matt, talk to me about how you're welcome. Talk to me, Matt Prusiecki, about how you're using this in your schools. Okay, and I always love this. Okay, teachers, and I was a teacher for years. Okay, I always call it. You guys may have heard me say this. The old teacher eye roll. Here we go again. More PD, all that sort of stuff. But I think it's more important now than ever. Okay, more important now than ever because we're dealing with teacher retention challenges. We're dealing with a new kind of student, if I may, or at least being aware of a new kind of student post-pandemic. There's a lot of change out there, and we need change. When I talked about Teaching Channel being a perfect storm for all this, it really is good stuff to put in there. Matt, tell me, how'd you stumble on this? How are you using it, et cetera, in the school district? Dr. Prusiecki.
Yeah, when it really comes to the Teaching Channel, and I've known Don for a few years now, we were looking for a way to really help support our teachers, like you said before, the professional development. Sometimes you get the eye roll, but trying to really merge video coaching is really the aspect where we wanted to bring in professional development and try to have our faculty work smarter, not harder, when it comes to really trying to learn their craft and support one another. But while doing that is also, instead of using an evaluation system that we use as a school district, simply a lot of people would perceive that always as a possible punitive measure. We wanted to really ensure that our teacher evaluation measure was really truly that professional development we're talking about, that teachers can actually learn and grow and collectively or collaboratively be able to support one another and do it at their pace where they're comfortable and they don't feel threatened or intimidated by those that are going to help critique them.
You know, what you just said is so amazing, and it's so true, and it's just human nature. Okay, I'll just speak as an educator. We always look at the teacher, teacher evaluation, okay, as punitive. Okay, oh my God, here comes an administrator to watch me teach. I'm starting to get worried here. Okay, and it's really just the wrong way to look at it. Okay, and it built up with that over the years, and I have a smile on my face as I say what teacher evaluation by administrators and learning new things and professional development, okay, isn't punitive. We're trying to help you become better in your profession, okay, and everybody needs to be better at their profession, all right, and I believe, and Dr. Prusiecki, I want you to talk about this. I need to talk about the teacher retention, and feel free to use a few minutes to recruit teachers into Decatur Township if you need them. Talk about teacher retention these days. Okay, it's the pipeline of new educators is smaller. We have to hold on to every great teacher we have. All right, and teachers are good, but a lot of them, as everybody knows, are thinking of leaving the profession. I think that's settling down a little bit. Okay, but it's still something. Things have changed. Talk about teacher retention, professional development, et cetera, et cetera. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, we really focus when we actually offer an individual a teaching position. There's, of course, the initial onboarding to the district and trying to get them assimilated to what they need to do to be an effective teacher. But onboarding transitions to a long-term support when it comes to a team of leaders, from principal to our assistant principal to our lead teacher to our collaborative teacher. You have a group of individuals along with all of their colleagues that are there to really pull together and provide that support, because everyone that's in the teaching field remembers their first year and how difficult it was. And I don't care when they started, but trying to get teachers through their first year and really through the first 5 years to make a commitment to a profession, we find it critical that it's got to be positive support, that it's got to be easily accessible, and you have to be able to work with others that are able to allow you to try things without being scared to try them. So that fear of failure is something we work hard to remove, so that if you do try new things and you fail, that's okay. Let's learn from it and continue. And honestly, that's where the video coaching is that non-threatening way to where teachers can actually truly reflect. And I believe that teachers do not adjust their practice without reflecting on what they're doing right and wrong, or doing well and not so well in a classroom. And video coaching, when our entire school system and working with our teachers, it was critical to that we put this on the table with our Teachers Association and really bring this together as a team effort to allow teachers the option to video themselves, to continue to video themselves until they felt they did something well enough that they could say, hey, this is what I'd like to count for this observation for my evaluation. And there was no timetable there other than generally an entire semester. But outside of that, it's truly just allowing teachers to focus on getting better and helping students learn. And that's what it's all about.
And we always talk about the teacher end of this. How you're the superintendent. You have obviously department heads and other your cabinet working with you, et cetera. And that's a difference for you folks as well. We talk about the change for the educator, but that's a very different way to look at an educator, okay, from a video point of view. Talk to me how you folks at the top level of that pyramid, if I may, just use that in terms of administration, get used to that, okay? What was that like?
Well, again, video coaching, we really wanted to separate, teacher support from an accountability system. We have an accountability system here in Indiana. We've categorized teachers as highly effective, needs improvement, and ineffective. And that's tied to the teacher evaluation. And when people are concerned that, hey, you have an awful lot of teachers that are effective and highly effective, you should have better results, It's really that's a measure of them learning and growing as teachers. If they're bad teachers, then we use our progressive discipline and our human resources department to actually address those that may not be good teachers, may not be good for kids, and that we use that aspect to deal with teachers in that area. But teachers that truly want to improve, learn and grow and become truly educators that inspire and help kids grow themselves, the teacher evaluation system, we wanted to make that solely that, to where we really broke that apart to where it's one or the other. So it's been great from my seat to be able to sit here and say, look, when you come to Decatur Township, we are going to use your evaluation system as an educator to help you become better. If you do not want to use that, that's your choice, and then we'll use our other aspects and human resources and progressive discipline to try to find you, out-counsel you and move you to a different profession, or you could go somewhere else that may not care as much about their kids. But for us, the teacher evaluation system is critical for 100% support and aiding our teachers to work together to improve their craft and hopefully their longevity in the field.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny, what you just said, it sounds so much better, okay, than, quote, the professional discipline system, okay? That sounds tough, and human resources is always tough. If there's another way to improve a teacher, okay, you're offering it to everyone. Okay, and that's just exactly the way to go these days. Okay, what you're doing is exactly right. Don, you're managing director of the teaching channel and all of this. Talk to us about how complicated is this for a district to actually make happen? Don.
So, well, when you're working with someone like Matt Prusiecki, Stephanie Hofer, and the rest of his team there at MSD of Decatur, it's not hard. We're going on 6 years that we're partnered with Matt and his team there in the school district. And it's not hard when you work with leaders like him and his team. So I think, just pointing out one thing that he was kind of talking about very quickly, it's just they've changed the entire culture of their school district.
Yeah,
and you can tell that, that PD is not something that's being pushed down on them. The environment that Matt and his team have created using video coaching tools to help support this, everything starts with the teacher. And, now the teacher has skin in the game, so to speak, and has some control of this process. And I think giving teachers agency, being respectful of them is what they deserve. I mean, we all know that we're losing teachers left and right, but we lose teachers because they don't get the support they deserve. What Matt's doing is taking our, tools, but he's already had this idea of let's give the teacher the support they need, let them record themselves, build confidence in their practice, let them use the 1,500 videos in the teaching channel library to find new teaching strategies, whether you're a new teacher looking for maybe attention-getting signals to a more veteran teacher who's looking for STEM, project-based learning video examples. They have the ability to help themselves, and then they have lead teachers throughout the school district that then are able to, sort of sit side by side virtually or in person, using the tools or sitting in the classrooms and mentor those teachers. What are you working on? What do you think you're doing well? What can we continue to do well and do it even better? And so taking a system like Engage Feedback, which Matt's team's been using, for 6 years, and plugging it in, it is easy to get started. And if you do give teachers that freedom and focus on saying, this is for your own self-reflection, this is for supporting our PLCs so you can give each other feedback in a safe and respectful way, I think it's an easy thing to get started with. And I would tell any school district right now, and I leave this more to Matt, but my recommendation would be if you're not supporting at least your teachers with 0 to 3 years experience using tools like this just to get started, I think you're missing a big opportunity. Because as we know, pre-service teachers are using video coaching in their pre-service days. They get to their real jobs, quote unquote, real jobs in the classroom, and often they don't have these tools anymore. And, video is ubiquitous now, and the pandemic pushed that more. We need to rely on these types of tools if it's going to help us support teachers, if it's going to improve teacher practice. And ultimately, the end game here is all those things should lead to helping students. And, it's just, I have to say this. I know it's a long-winded answer, but I have to say, working with a district like Matt's, it gives us, just all the affirmation we could ever ask for. When we hear, Matt and his team tell us, okay, well, we've built a district vocabulary now, where everyone, when we talk about teacher practice, everyone's using the same language. That's because we used, some of the video coaching tools, and we're able to all share that, and we have our framework in there, our instructional framework. We hear that we're helping with his student retention, but then, the thing we all want, we're hearing that that's improved teacher practice, which is leading to, gains in student achievement. I mean, that's just everything we could ask for in partnering with a school district.
And, Matt said something that struck me. They've got a lot of teachers, just use Indiana as the example, that are very effective or effective. Okay? That's their ranking in the Indiana teacher evaluation system. Okay? But if everybody's very effective, highly effective, however you said it, or effective, how come the results aren't better? Okay? We all know the NAEP scores. All right? And like everybody, I'll use I live in Maine, the New England Patriots. You get lazy after a while, okay? And we got to make sure that, and again, kids are changing, okay? The kids we teach are changing. We have to make sure that we're teaching to the times we live in today. And believe me, there are teachers, educators all over your district, all over the country that are making changes in the way they teach. And when you can share that with everybody on something like the teaching channel, okay, and really see the results, it's incredible, okay? And Matt, what you said just really struck me. We've got to make sure that teachers are as absolutely effective as they can be. It's that simple. Every day, every minute, we got to stay kids. And you said it before. You're in a district that in some cases is a lower socioeconomic situation. Okay, we got to move these kids up in the world and give them all the opportunity. It's the energetic, revitalized teacher that's going to make all the difference in the world for those kids and every kid that you teach. And I got to ask you, Matt, how do the teachers react to all this? What's the feedback you're hearing from all of your educators?
Well, and that's a critical piece is, when we first started going down the road of, video coaching and then really then incorporating the entire teaching channel, we made it voluntary. And that was, we wanted, working with our association, that this wasn't something that we're doing to them. This is something we wanted to do together.
That's great.
So we started that if teachers wanted to truly video and self-reflect and do that on their own as a part of their evaluation system, then go ahead and try it. It's not required. You can stay the old way if you want, so to speak, and just have us come in and observe. But here's an option. Our first year, you had a lot of people that were comfortable with videoing that would try it, and like anything, word of mouth spreads, and your best salespersons are your own teachers. And so,
absolutely.
What happened was when you look at video submissions, from one year to the next, think of 2021, 2022 school year to this past year, we more than doubled in our video submissions.
Great.
And self-reflections almost practically tripled. When you really look at this practice, it's truly from the hands of the teacher in allowing them and setting up that framework to where they can do this and grow on their own. So there wasn't a lot of hard work other than making that initial leap. And once we did that,
did it right. You did it right.
Allowing those teachers to do it.
Yeah, and you ask them to volunteer to help themselves, and that way help everybody. And I must ask this. By the way, I'll preface this by saying I was a secondary school history teacher. Okay, who is there a group? Are the elementary schools doing this more than the secondary school teachers have? Have you found any statistics on that?
Our elementary seemed to jump on this a little quicker, But when you look at the department at the secondary level, once you had a few people try in each of the content departments at the secondary level, then that grew just as fast. So it was a matter of just trusting a few go-getters that were willing to experiment on their own to really, again, be your best salespersons for something that can truly move the needle when it comes to sound instructional practice.
I think it's just great. I think it's so timely and so important, again, especially in these days of teacher retention. Okay, it's just so important. This really matters, and it matters. I assume, Matt, the student learning. How's it looking on that? What do you see as improvement in that?
Student learning, you see more engagement. You see in front of the engagement, you get better parent support, and once you get parents and teachers working together, the more that happens, the better off the student is. And that's where it really fundamentally that has to happen. And that's been a struggle for in a lot of areas in education. But if you can get the community to work with you, that makes the results a lot better.
And you being there for 10 years makes a big difference as well. Okay, to see that kind of steady leadership really matters. I got to congratulate you on that. Okay, that makes a huge difference. Your commitment to the district makes a huge difference. Okay, I take that one to the bank. Okay,
Thank
Don, I mean it sincerely. That is incredibly important. Okay, Don, wind it down for us. Dude, tell us what we all need to know. Okay, school districts need to know how to get in touch, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely. Visit us at teachingchannel.com. Again, we have loads of information and resources to help you on this journey, whether you're already familiar with using videos for professional learning or not. We're with you every step of the way. Larry, I can send you a link as well. You were mentioning what kind of statistics are we getting about how effective this is. Of course, Matt's district is tracking their own success. But there are studies out there, so I'll send you a link that you can share with your audience.
I'll add that on here. Absolutely.
Which would be helpful. And I would say also come see us. We're going to be at the ISTE conference in Philadelphia, June 26th through the 28th. So we're excited to meet educators in person and show them what Teaching Channel is today, the new Teaching Channel, and I think they'll be excited. You can also, there's one other thing. You can visit us in addition to teachingchannel.com. Teaching Channel is just one part of a larger organization now called K-12 Coalition. And so if you'd like to visit K-12 Coalition, you can learn about how not only, we can help you with the Teaching Channel products we talked about today, but we have a few other groups, the iTeach group, which helps with alternative certification of teachers, our friends at Insight Education Group, which is where, our original Insight Advanced company came from. They can help you with strategic planning, accelerated learning plans, and so much more. Another team, Lavinia Group, that helps with their Summer Rise program, all kinds of other consulting services as well. We're all one big group at K12Coalition.com.
I didn't know that, and thank you. I'm going to make sure everybody knows that as well. I'm going to follow up with you, Don, if I may, and learn more about that.
Absolutely.
Is that okay? Can we talk? I'd love to talk about
great.
that and all the good stuff you did. It's been too long since we've caught up. Matt, continued good fortune. When is school done this year?
Actually, we just finished before Memorial Day weekend. Last Thursday was our last day, and we had graduation. 455 students graduated.
Yeah, bless their hearts. I wish every one of them good luck, man. That's great. 12 years of school. Woo, that's really something. Congratulations. You have a good summer. And Don, we will talk soon. Both of you, thanks, guys. This was just great. What a great way to start the week.
Thanks, Larry. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, everybody. Wow. Okay, teachingchannel.com and K-12 Coalition. Okay, you can just Google that, I'm sure. And if Don's running it, I can guarantee it's good. Matt's terrific superintendent. And they're doing good things, and he's thinking ahead. Okay, and making this all work together. I think it's just great. Okay, in Decatur Township in Indiana, the south side of Indianapolis. Okay, when you're flying to the airport, you can wave hello. All right, we're going to archive at ace-ed.org, and I remind every company that equity and access does matter. Put yourself up for an Equity and Excellence in Equity Award. Teachers nominate for free. okay, over at ace-ed.org. You'll see the awards icon. I'm Larry Jacobs. This is Pre-K-12 Education Talk Radio. Welcome back.